The latest Battlefield update is here, and it's really stirring things up with their new free battle royale mode, Battlefield Redsec.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, free to play modes are a big deal these days, and EA really seems to be going all out with this one. What caught your eye about it?
Well, first off, it's built on Battlefield's iconic DNA,
Mm-hmm.
right? They've said it's fused with the best of the battle royale genre, so you get explosions, strategy, and those signature cinematic battles.
Right, and they're dropping 100 players into this massive map, Fort Linden. That map is apparently the biggest one yet. Can you imagine the scale there?
Oh yeah, it's like taking the usual chaos of battle royales and infusing it with the rich Battlefield tradition. Like it's like a careful balance between classic warfare and the adrenaline rush of a battle royale.
Exactly. And I read that aside from the classic drop in experience, there's also something called Gauntlet mode. That one's a bit different, isn't it?
Definitely. In Gauntlet mode, it's like teams of 4 and 8 squads battling it out in a round-based, tournament-style format. Each round lasts about 5 minutes to complete mission objectives.
Yeah, that sounds pretty intense. So essentially, you're not just randomly dropping into a massive, sprawling battlefield. You also have these structured, fast paced rounds where precision and teamwork really matter.
Exactly, and that's where the tactical destruction comes in. It's a feature that brings a whole new level of strategy, letting players basically use the environment as a weapon.
But don't you think that overemphasizing environmental destruction could potentially backfire on players who prefer more traditional combat styles? I mean, not everyone might appreciate sudden terrain shifts mid match.
That's a solid point. I think what EA is trying to do is merge both worlds, classic large-scale warfare with dynamic battle royale twists. But yeah, it might challenge players who are used to the more static maps.
Right, exactly. And speaking of merging worlds, did you catch the details about the music? They added an in game radio station featuring artists like Limp Bizkit, Bob Dylan, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice unexpected touch. It's like they're, curating not just the gameplay, but also the vibe and atmosphere. Makes each match feel even more cinematic and, yeah, culturally rich.
Mm-hmm. It really makes me wonder how these curated experiences influence the overall immersion, especially in a game as chaotic as a battle royale. The soundtrack can set the tone for both the high intensity action and the slower moments.
Absolutely. And aside from the mode itself, there's also the broader context of Battlefield 6's release. They launched Season 1 just a couple of weeks ago with new maps, a 4 versus 4 multiplayer mode, and even a new vehicle.
Right, and if I remember correctly, EA mentioned that around November and December they'll bring even more content like a new map and an icy makeover of the Empire State map. So it's definitely an evolving ecosystem. Person 2. Yep.
Exactly. It's like they're continuously fueling both the free-to-play and the core Battlefield ecosystem. That's pretty smart from a business angle, especially after Battlefield 6 sold over 7 million copies in the first
Wow,
3
that's
days.
impressive. For sure. It kind of raises the question, though, with such strong core game sales, do you think adding a free battle royale is just a strategy to further extend the player base, or is it like a genuine new direction?
I'd say it's a bit of both, honestly. On one hand, it brings in more players who might eventually dip into other parts of the game. On the other, it's genuinely tapping into the Battle Royale craze while still offering that Battlefield twist.
Mm-hmm. And I also find it interesting how EA explains the mode, using phrases like built on Battlefield's iconic DNA and bombastic cinematic scale. It's almost like a promise of, mega scale experiences. Person 2, yeah.
It definitely does. It's a bold marketing move, mixing those familiar Battlefield elements with the popular Battle Royale format. It's like saying, we're keeping our roots while evolving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but here's my thought. Sometimes blending two distinct game experiences can dilute the essence of both. Aren't you a bit concerned that it might not fully satisfy hardcore Battlefield fans or the typical Battle Royale crowd?
That's a fair challenge, and it's a risk for sure. However, given the track record of Battlefield's gameplay, I think they're banking on the idea that their signature style will create a unique experience even
I
in a
see.
battle royale setting.
So essentially, they're trying to create a niche where you get explosive action with strategic depth, something that stands apart from, say, Fortnite or Apex Legends.
Exactly! And with the introduction of modes like Gauntlet, they're even putting forward different challenges that accommodate various playstyles. It's like offering a buffet of experiences
Right, that
under
makes
one
sense.
giant Battlefield umbrella.
Also, the whole narrative about how EA integrates new content over time, like the phased release of Season 1 with added maps and vehicles, creates anticipation. It's almost like a continuous story unfolding beyond just a single mode. Person 2? Yep.
Absolutely. And if you look at the bigger picture, this approach also keeps the world dynamic and encourages players to come back, exploring new challenges and surprises.
Mm-hmm. And that's so crucial in today's gaming market, where keeping players engaged over a long period is key. But do you think the free-to-play model might lead to issues with, monetization or balance?
Yeah, that's a concern. There's always the worry that microtransactions might tip the scales in favor of pay to win, especially in competitive modes. However, EA seems to be positioning this as a pure battle for skill and strategy, not one that's overly monetized.
I get that, but I do get that. Although it's important they get it right. Hardcore fans are quick to criticize when changes affect gameplay balance. And while expanding the player base is great, if it tips into unfair play, it can be a double edged sword. Person 2. Yeah,
True, that's where careful game design comes in. I think EA is aware of that, and the use of multiple modes and regular content updates could help smooth over any kinks that crop up early on.
right. And it's exciting to see how they plan on evolving the game with like new missions and even upgraded weapons throughout the season. The constant infusion of new elements makes the experience feel fresh each time.
Yeah, and speaking of upgrades, did you notice the emphasis EA put on classes and weapon tweaks in their press release? It's not just about the map or modes, it's also about how you approach each match strategically.
Absolutely. For sure. It's like every match has a mini tournament vibe where teamwork, strategy, and skill converge. And with 100 players, the potential for chaos and brilliant plays is enormous.
Definitely. And with the kind of cinematic battles Battlefield is known for, every moment can turn into an epic highlight reel. It's that blend of large-scale warfare with personal, team-driven triumphs.
One more interesting note is the emphasis on environmental interaction. Turning parts of the terrain into weapons or strategic advantages is not something you see every day in battle royales. That could really shift how matches play out, right?
Yup, exactly. It's like having a deck of tricks built directly into the map. Players aren't just fighting each other, they're battling with the environment. It adds a whole extra dimension to the gameplay.
Right on. Overall, I think Battlefield Redsec represents not only an exciting new mode, but also a bold step in reimagining what Battle Royale can be. It stays true to the franchise while daring to innovate.
Agreed. It's a fascinating experiment in blending traditions with modern twists. If EA manages to balance everything, it might just set a new standard for both free-to-play and large-scale multiplayer experiences.
Absolutely, yeah.